Alright guys, welcome to the second part of day 2 as we're gonna jump into group 6. In this group, as you can see, Kuguth, Plaguefather and Grease's Goldtooth both have 2 victories and are leading in this group, as Morgar and Malagor are in the bottom and the ones who are about to be dropped if they don't play well in these rounds. So let's jump right into the matches and see how they go. The first match is gonna be the Battle of the Fetties, as Greedus Goldtooth is gonna take on Kugus Plaguefather. Let's see if the Fat Ogre is gonna have enough weapon strength and his wonderful anti-large bonus is gonna be sufficient to take down Kugath, who is cheating all the way while he is slowly going down, going to Greases. He's throwing whatever he can find right inside of his stomach. Looks absolutely disgusting, just as it should be. Let's speed this up a little bit as both lords very slowly charge into each other and begin the battle. Let's look at them. Greases buffs himself up to 843 melee weapon strength, but his melee attack and melee defense a little bit debuffed. 22 melee defense probably is not gonna be good enough, I guess. Kugath Plaguefather, who has 88 melee defense. That is a lot. He has also the highest health pool in the game, so it's gonna take a while for Greases to break through that health pool. Let's watch the fight as Greases is also affected by the Pestilent Decay, which does a little bit damage all the time, and there's not really much Greases can do about it. Kugas is at 9,300 as Greases is already down to 4,400. That's not looking good for Greases. Well, proportionally wise, they are almost at the same level. So let's speed this up a little bit and see how this matchup goes. Maybe Greases will be the first one to score a victory against the the greatest unclean one, I guess. Or maybe Kugath is not really an unclean one. Well, he's definitely not clean, so that is definitely not debatable. Let's look at the stats. Greases is again down to 0 melee defense. That is so bad. So Virtual Contagion, minus 40 melee defense. And Slimetail, minus 5 melee attack. And he's poisoned. There's so many debuffs that Kugath is putting out that it's really hard to fight against him. And this health pool is just too huge for most lords to just break through. They don't have enough time or weapon strength or buffs to deal with all that health, and 64 melee defense, which is very good for such a fat lord. Greases is down to 1400. He goes down to 1000 health, while Kugath is at 4300. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be taking this one, and Greases goes down in the first and also in the second match. Kugath Plaguefather is gonna take both of these matches 2-0 for Kugath, the leader of this group. Let's jump into the next match and see if Tzarina Katarin, riding her Frostworm, will be able to take Throt the Unclean, riding his Brood Horror. Let us compare the stats, and you can see Tzarina has a little bit more health, but less melee attack, less melee defense, a little bit less weapon strength. Both competitors charge into each other. Throt also has a very nice anti-large bonus, plus 16, and he can also buff himself up with another bonus, plus another 16 against large opponents. He also has Regeneration and Frenzy, and he can also heal himself additionally compared to his regular Regeneration, and he also has plus 24 melee attack. So let's speed up this fight a little bit and see if Tzarina Katarin maybe can redeem her awful performance of the first rounds, losing to Wozrek of all the people. How very unexpected, but looking at this round, it's not looking too good for Katarina. Throt is down to just 4,300, but Tzarina is already at 2,700. He's just not doing too much damage to Throt, and Throt, obviously, with his anti-large bonus, I think has a little bit of an advantage against Tzarina. And I'm really not sure about the Frostworm. Maybe it has a very large hitbox or something similar, but it doesn't seem to be a very good mount. He actually has like a decent melee strength, but maybe the 35 melee defense is the thing that is bringing her down. Tzarina Katarin is fighting on her last life, 2,800, 280 health, but that's not good enough. 1-0 for Throt, and let's see if maybe she can turn this into a draw in the second match. Alright, the second match, this time Tzarina is going to try to ride the bear, which has magical attacks, which might help against Throt, as Throt does have physical resistance. Yes, he does 10%, so that is a little bit of an advantage, and a little bit better in terms of melee defense. But again, the bear gives you less health, and that is not really a good thing. Let's see as the battle begins, and Tzarina is just taking a lot more damage than Throt. His anti-light bonus is very, very good, and he's regenerating all the health. Throt is almost at full health. Tzarina is going down again in this match. Not really a chance. Throt is not a match for actually the other way around. Tzarina is not a match for Throt the Unclean, who I think is gonna take, let's speed this up, and yeah, he takes a 2-0 victory over Tzarina Katarin, who is in very, very deep trouble. Let's look at the final match in this round. This is gonna be the battle of the Fonts, Elspeth von Draken versus Vlad von Karstein. Let's see who's the better Fon of these two. Let's see as what was her name again? I forgot completely. Her name is Elspeth, and she's charging into Vlad. She's doing a lot of damage, but Vlad has, as we know, he is the king of regeneration. And comparing their stats, yeah, Elspeth, she got debuffed by Vlad so much. Master of Beguilement, minus 40 melee attack for a very, very long time, 28 seconds. Yeah, that is a lot. Let's speed this up a little bit and see maybe if Vlad can make a comeback. I think Elspeth is going to recover from that, but 44 melee defense, yeah, that's not 50 melee attack. I think, yeah, Vlad has 70 melee attack and 50 melee defense, and he also has armor piercing, so he's doing a little bit better with that. He's also healing from hunger and the blood drinker, so Vlad is regenerating all the damage, pretty much all the damage that Elspeth is trying to inflict on him. Now, Elspeth also has her own regeneration, which she will be able to use once in a while, but again, she's getting debuffed by the Master of Beguilement, and she's just not hitting Vlad. Vlad is almost back at full health. Yeah, he's back to full health pretty much. He almost managed to regenerate everything that he has. And let's continue watching this match. Elspeth still trying to land a few hits on Vlad, who's just taking it like a champ. He's regenerating all the damage that he has. She also has a little bit more leadership, but that shouldn't really affect the outcome of the battle. Vlad took a little bit more damage. Okay, let's slow this down. Vlad is down to 3600, when Elspeth von Draken is at 3000, 2700, but she's getting debuffed again with this very, very nasty anti-melee attack debuff. Let's see if she'll be able to maybe recover from that, because her health is very, very low compared to Vlad. She didn't have enough time to regenerate it back, and not enough power to regenerate it back. And I think she, well, she's wavering. Maybe she's down to 2200. Vlad is at 3400, and much higher percentage of health, and he obviously has higher melee stats. So Vlad takes this one, and he's also going to take the second one. This is going to be a 2-0 victory, and Vlad is the better Fon of the two Fons that we had in this matchup. Let's look at the other matches in this round. And in this round, well, Malagor managed to beat Morgar, his brother, by the Beastman. He's a better Beastman. A little bit better. He's a decent melee combatant. And Krogar wins against Wurzak. Nothing really surprising there. He's performing as he expected, looking at you, Tzarina Katarin. So here are the results from round 3. Let's jump into the next one. Let's jump into the first match of the last round for this day in this group. This is going to be Krogar against Grease's Goldtooth. Comparing these two, they are very, very, very similar. Greases has a little bit more weapon strength, a little bit less armor, almost the same melee defense, the same melee attack. Almost the same health, so not really much difference between these two. Let's look at the anti-large bonus. Krogar has 35 and Greases has 25. So very close, and Krogar has a few nasty buffs that Greases doesn't have. He has Frenzy and the Deadly Onslaught and the Sacred Spawning of Xodal that gives him 20% physical resistance and also a little bit more speed. But he is getting debuffed by Greases in turn. But it seems like the charge bonus, 114 charge bonus, that is a lot. And that is something Greases doesn't have, and there's no way Greases can negate that. I think this charge bonus is going to be the key to maybe if Krogar is going to take this one, because he managed to do so much damage quickly to Greases. He's almost 1000 health ahead of him. Well, just exactly 1000 health. Let's speed this up and see if Greases maybe can make a comeback. But no, I think the charge bonus is going to make it for Kroger. 1-0 for Kroger in this matchup. Let's see. Maybe Greases can make a comeback in the second one. All right, the second match between these two juggernauts. Kroger is charging with his huge 114 charge bonus. He charged into Greases, and look at the damage to Greases' Gold Tooth. Actually, I think it's more similar this time. Kroger is down to 5,500. Greases is at 6,000 health, so pretty close to each other. Obviously, the charge bonus was very good, but Greases he does have a few things to negate it. Well, the only thing he actually has is the Over-Tyrant's Crown that gives him plus 10 ward save. Let's speed this up and see if Greases will be able to take this one back. Actually, it's a very, very close match. Greases down to 2,200. Kroger is also at 2,200, but I think he just managed to land a very nasty hit on Greases. Greases down to 1,400 and 1,700 for Krog, and he has the Sacred Warnings that gives him a little bit more health. Maybe that will be the key to this match. Let's see if Greases can buff himself up, or his buffs are going to take a little bit longer to recover. The wonderful Scepter of Titans that gives him a lot more damage, but he's down to 600. No, that's not going to be enough. 2-0 for Kroger, who is going to win this match. And now for something completely different. This is going to be Wurzek riding his... what was the name of his mount? Spine Chopper or something like that. Right into Morga the Shadow Grave, who has regeneration, and that's pretty much it. Well, also a little bit. A very nice melee, 55 melee attack and poison, so both of them charge into each other. Let's compare these two. Wurzek has, well, he has less weapon strength. Oh, that's because he's poisoned. He has frenzy, but he's poisoned. I think getting poisoned with frenzy, I would take nothing over getting these two effects combined, because I think poison is just worse than frenzy. Let's speed this up and see if the battle is going as Wurzek planned, or as Morga planned. Very close. 3,100 against 2,700. 2,700 versus 2,500. Yeah, this is a very close matchup. Both of them doing a lot of damage to each other. But Wurzek has Get Back here, which is plus 16 leadership. Might be useful in the ending stages of the match. Morga is still regenerating well, actually not like crazy. Let's see how much he regenerates. 6 health per second, and he wins the first match. I couldn't quite see that, but that was very quick, and he takes the first match against Wurzek. Let's see if Wurzek maybe can score a victory in the second one. Alright, the second match between these two. Wurzek is charging into Morga at very, very high speed, and they bump into each other. Let's look at that. Wurzek has one of the best abilities, which is the Effigy of the Git, which does 67 damage per second, well, 33 to 67 damage per second for almost 20 seconds, so that is a lot of damage, but that is the only direct ability that he has, and with regeneration, I don't think Morga is going to be too worried about that. Let's compare the stats again. It's a close matchup for both. So 600 against 3,600, 3,400, 3,600. Yeah, they're just fighting each other, and nobody is giving in, but looks like Wurzek is losing here for some reason. Yeah, 25 melee defense is not good enough in this tournament. Wurzek, you need some items for the next one. Get yourself something to buff your melee defense. He buffs his melee attack, which maybe offense is the best defense, but best offense and best defense is better than just best offense. So maybe Wurzek is not correct in this one. He's down to 1,200 compared to 2,600 for 2,300 for Morga. Let's see if yeah, I think Morga has just better stats. He doesn't have a lot of armor, but he has a regeneration, and he's landing his hits. Morga takes the 2-0 victory over Wurzek. Alright, and here are the results for round 4 for Group 6. Kugoth Blakefather beats Throd the Unclean, who didn't really have any chances in this matchup. Vlad von Karstein beats Malagor, and Tzarina Katarin loses to Elspeth von Draken, maybe a little bit as expected. And here are the standings after round 4. Kugoth Blakefather is leading this group, 4 victories, not a single loss. Kroger and Vlad von Karstein both have 3 victories, equal amount of points, and they will decide who's gonna stay in that very, very desirable second place in the next round. And Tzarina Katarin, what a disaster! 3 losses, 1 tie, not a single victory, last place in the group. She's going to be out of this tournament. Can you imagine that? Tzarina Katarin with the War Bear, with the Frostworm, and that is not good enough to win against all the other competitors in this group. She really needs to win the last match against Melagor, who's also fighting to be maybe in position 7 or position 8 to go into the next qualified tournament for these positions. And Wurzak is going to be fighting Breeze's Goldtooth. I don't think that's going to go good for him. So very tough competition for the last places, and I think Krogar is going to beat Flood. That is my prediction for next round, but we'll see how that goes. Fun group. We are continuing with Group 7, where Skazbrand the Exiled and Yuan Bo are leading after the first 2 rounds without any losses. Count Noctilus is the next one, and then a lot of Lords competing for places between 4 and 8. And the Changing and Lord Skrolk, probably as expected, are in the 2 last places. Let's jump into the matches and see how they go in this group. Alright, first match in this group, and the match you have been likely waiting for. Yuan Bo, the Jade Dragon, the mightiest, in my opinion, of the dragons, versus Skazbrand, the Exiled. Let's wait until Yuan Bo transforms into his dragon form and look at the stats. Skazbrand, well, we are not going to compare them before he transforms, but now we can do the comparison. So Skazbrand has 1000 more health, better melee attack, better melee defense, better everything, just a little bit less armor. But Yuan Bo has a very secret, a very, well, not a very secret, but a very powerful ability, the Executioner. So he will execute units in combat below a 20% hit points threshold. And he also has the Emperor's Executioner, which does almost 1500 damage, and will also execute enemy combatants. So he charges into Skazbrand, and if he manages to bring Skazbrand to 20% health, Skazbrand is gonna go down. So let's watch this match as he charges into Skazbrand. Skazbrand takes a lot of damage, but buffs himself up to 1000 strength, 85 melee attack with magical and flame damage. And I don't think Yuan Bo has any ways of regenerating the lost health. So he's taking a lot of damage from Skazbrand. He is also sitting at 1000 melee damage, almost 600 melee strength, but his buffs are gone, and Skazbrand is still at 85 melee attack and almost 700 melee strength. That is without the buffs. That's because of Frenzy that he has. What a beast of a lord, and 20% physical resistance. Yeah, it's gonna be a nightmare for anybody to take on Skazbrand. Skazbrand is at 6200, Yuan Bo is at 4300. So Skazbrand is almost at half health. He needs to go down to probably I would say probably around 2000, maybe 3000 before Yuan Bo will be able to execute him. Let's get back here on what's happening. Yuan Bo down to, he's down himself to 2500, and Skazbrand is sitting at 4500. Yeah, that is a lot of health. I don't think Yuan Bo is going to have enough time to break through that. He's wavering, and he loses the first match. Let us jump into the second match between these two as Yuan Bo. What is he doing? Is he gonna fight on foot? The mightiest Skazbrand. Really? Okay, well, I guess that is a decision that he can... No, of course not. He's gonna transform into the mighty dragon. Yeah, that is not a decision he was willing to take. Again, he charges into Skazbrand, who is waiting on the ground or using his charge bonus. Both of them are fighting, and Yuan Bo takes so much damage from Skazbrand. He's almost down to half health. Skazbrand is sitting at 6500. Yuan Bo is at 4500. He is waiting for the chance to use the execution on Skazbrand. That would be amazing to win this match, but let's see, he will be given the chance by Skazbrand. Skazbrand is landing all his strikes. Yuan Bo is down to 4100, and Skazbrand, yeah, he is taking damage, but he's outputting maybe twice as much damage as he's taking. Another strike lands on Yuan Bo. Yuan Bo manages to dodge this one. Skazbrand is 5700. Yuan Bo is at 3220, 2800. Yeah, that is not looking good for Yuan Bo. 2300. He is missing strike after strike. 40 melee defense against Skazbrand is probably very little. He's down to -55. He does know that is not enough time. Very clear 2-0 victory for Skazbrand. Our next match is gonna be Quick Head Taker versus Alberic de Bordelot, who is charging into Quick on his trusty Griffin mount. Let's see how that one is gonna go. Let's see. Let's look at Quick Head Taker. He can buff himself up to incredible 90 melee attack, 70 melee defense, and almost 600 weapon strength with the Dwarf Gouger and the Verminous Valor. Albrecht, let's look. He has the Curing Killing Blow, and he's debuffed to minus 23 armor, minus 5 melee defense by Quick Head Taker, but he has the Blessing of the Lady, which is plus 15% ward save. A very, very useful ability. Let's look at that. He also has bonus versus Slash plus 12 and plus 4 leadership. A very useful ability. Seems like Albrecht is taking a lot more damage. He's down to 0 melee defense. Trophy hats from Quick Head Taker. Yeah, that went not really well for Albrecht. Quick is one of those lords who has the ability to unload all the buffs and the debuffs at the same time and do a lot of damage in a very short window. And Albrecht has no generation, so let's see if Quick is going to be able to take it on 2100 for Albrecht, 1800. Quick is sitting. Quick is no, actually, Quick is not able to take this one so far. 1500 for Albrecht. Quick is sitting at 1800. Albrecht is down to 1200. Close matchup, but Quick is doing, I think, a little bit better. Albrecht has anti-lash bonus. Quick has anti-infantry bonuses, so both of them are useful. Quick is down to 1300, but Albrecht buffs himself up. 900 versus 1000. Let's look at this battle. And yeah, this can go anyway. 500 versus 1000 for, yeah. And Quick Head Taker takes a 1-0 in the first match between these two. Let's jump into the second match between these two as Albrecht is charging again into Quick Head Taker. Let's see if things go any better for him this time around. Quick obviously uses all his buffs and does quite a bit of burst damage to Albrecht, who's down to 0 melee defense, but seems like Quick Head Taker is not doing too well this time. He's down to 2500 health. Albrecht is still at 5200. I think Albrecht managed to avoid some of the blows that Quick was trying to land on him this time, and Quick is already down to 2100. What a turnaround. Yeah, wow, what a quick match. Albrecht manages to turn this around completely. 1-1 between these two. Let's look next at two competitors we haven't seen so far. Aranessa Saltspite versus the Demon Prince. Well, the Demon Prince, who is using the mark of Hawkcorn because that is one of the better marks. He charges into the the Skarsbrand from Thrift Shop, charges into Aranessa Saltspire, does quite a bit of damage, but Aranessa has 84 melee defense, 120 armor, 500 weapon strength. These are some good stats, and she has a few buffs that she can use, but no, it doesn't look like they're helping against the Demon Prince of Corn, who himself is down to 50 melee defense, but he seems like he's able to land most of the strikes. Let's continue watching this match. He has Frenzy, and the Paragon of Carnage is not going to help him. I think he's landing a lot of strikes on Aranessa, and it looks like Aranessa is going to go down without much of a fight. Let's look at this match as it continues. No, actually, Aranessa is holding her ground. I think that was a charge bonus that gave him a huge advantage. But right now, Aranessa is masterfully with her 60 melee defenses, dodging the strikes of the Demon Prince of Corn and just kind of dancing around him. He's down to 4600. Aranessa is sitting at almost 1500, but it looks like he's slowly, yeah, she's chipping away at his health. He's down to 2700. Aranessa is at 1100. Interesting. I didn't expect that this match would be so close between these two. Aranessa, definitely, everybody knows Aranessa is not the best lord in the campaign. She's not the most powerful lord. She doesn't have the best mounts, but hey, maybe that is sufficient to beat the Demon Prince of Corn. Let's look down as Aranessa is down to 4600. No, I don't think she's going to take it. 1-0 for the Demon Prince. Let's look at the second match as Daniel again charges on his very funny looking wings. I'm not sure what's wrong with his wings. They just look like he is a very, very friendly toy instead of looking epic or scary or anything. Yeah, it looks like he's a toy wearing a very fun mask. They don't look like real battle wings. They look like, I don't know. I'm not really impressed by his outlook. But so he charges into Aranessa, and this time he seems to be taking a lot more damage. He is already down to 5500. Aranessa is at 13,900, but she overall, percentage-wise, I think she's doing a little bit better than the Demon Prince. Let us continue watching the match as she is, I think she's about to go down the second time. Well, who's losing ground? She's losing ground, right? Well, the Demon Prince is losing ground. Yeah, she's losing ground. Her leadership is wavering. Demon Prince is at 4,000 health. Aranessa is down to 2,1,600 health. Not a lot for Aranessa. Let's continue watching this match as the Demon Prince is also going down slowly. She's managing to hold on to her health. We're still at 1,300, but the Demon Prince is already down to 2,700. He buffs himself up with the Deathbringer. What are the names? The Deathbringer. Come on, that should be a more interesting name for the weapon. Aranessa is 800 health. The Demon Prince is down to 1,900 health. The Deathbringer is about to expire, and with him, the mighty damage that he's still not able to land his hits on Aranessa. She's dodging all his attempts to strike. 861 for Aranessa, 1,700 for the Demon Prince. And again, he misses. Aranessa is still sitting at her health. I think, yeah, the Demon Prince is not really. He shouldn't be impressed with his abilities. He buffs himself up a little bit. That doesn't really help. Aranessa is down to 641, but the Demon Prince is also down to 900 health. Let's watch these two closer and see who is going to win this match. A very close match between these two. Same amount of health, and the Demon is wavering, and he seems to be going down. Is he going down? Yes, I think he is going down slowly. Yeah, he's disintegrating. Yeah, Aranessa is down to 400. The Demon's right. He needs one strike. He needs one last strike to win this match. No, he's not going to get it. Aranessa wins this match in a very, very tough battle. Well done, Aranessa. 1-1. So here are the other results for round 3. The Changeling lost to Lord Skrolk. Count Noctilus was defeated by Cetra the Imperishable, who I think has a little bit... the Cameron War Springs is just a better melee mount than the Necrophagous Colossus. And Demon Prince, as we just saw, couldn't win the match against Aranessa's Allspire. And Albrecht draws with quick Head Taker. Let us jump into the round 4. Let's start with the first match. This is going to be Cetra the Imperishable versus Yuan Bo, the Jade Dragon, who is going to transform into his mighty Jade form and then charge into Cetra. Now, Cetra, he has a few advantages. He has a lot of health, good melee tech. Well, average, kind of decent melee tech. Not very good melee defense. A lot of weapon strength, but I don't think that's going to help against Yuan Bo. Yuan Bo charges into Cetra, who doesn't really have that many abilities, but Yuan Bo also doesn't have many abilities. But looking at the stats, he's just outclassing Cetra in pretty much all the aspects. Cetra is down to half health. Yuan Bo hasn't taken almost any damage. Yeah, look at that. He's just better in everything. He has a low charge bonus, but that doesn't matter because he's the one charging. Cetra cannot charge into the Flying Dragon. Cetra is slowly going down in this match unless he can turn this around, but he needs to do a lot of damage to Yuan Bo, who is just landing hit under hit on Cetra. Cetra is down to 4,100, 3,500 for Cetra, 3,100 here. He is executable by Yuan Bo, and let's see if Yuan Bo will be using his execution ability. And let's speed this up a little bit. You know, he's still deciding to fight Cetra in melee combat as a gentleman. Yeah, he's still fighting as a gentleman. 6,700 versus 2,200. Cetra is going down like a gentleman, as he should, I guess, in this match. But maybe this is the time when Yuan Bo is gonna... Yeah, he executes Cetra the Imperishable. And Cetra perishes in this match. Yuan Bo is gonna take the first and then the second point in this match is gonna go exactly the same way. So 2-0 for Yuan Bo. Next, let's find out who is the real demon and who is the wannabe demon, as the demon Prince of Corn is charging into Skullrun, who has better stats and everything, but he's not flying because, well, real demons do not fly. Or do they? Or do they not? Who is the real one? Look at that. I think Skazbran just looks cooler. He looks like he looks like he knows what he is the better demon. And yeah, the demon Prince of Corn, I don't like how he looks. He looks like a little bit like a little toy flying, but he flies into Skazbran and charges into his demon brother. both of them are beginning pummeling into each other. So let's just watch this match and see. Skarsgård is actually taking a lot of damage in this one. Skarsgård is at 6,700, but the Demon Prince is also down to half health. No, I think Skarsgård is a little bit on top in this matchup. 5,600 versus 3,300. Yeah, I think he's leading by 2,000 health. And yeah, he's still leading by that amount. No, I don't think this is going to go to the way the Demon Prince of Korn. Skarsgård seems to be the better demon in this one. 1-0 for Skarsgård. Let's look at the second match between these two as the Demon Prince of Korn again is charging into the real demon. Maybe. Both of them are starting to do a lot of damage. Skarsgård takes a lot of damage quickly, but he has more damage. But he has more health than the Demon Prince, and the Demon Prince is also starting to feel that plus 20 melee attack that Skarsgård has onto him. Both of them are pummeling into each other and breathing fire, and well, let's see. Both of them have axes and wings, and the I don't know. I think let's look. Yeah, wonderful combat between these two. Let's look at what's happening. Skarsgård is at 5,700. The Demon Prince is at 3,400. Yeah, looks like this is not the way. This is the way. Skarsgård seems to be taking this victory. Yeah, he's going to defeat 2-0 for Skarsgård against Daniel. Let us jump into the next match, as this is going to be Lord Skrolk, who I haven't seen yet, fighting against Count Noctilus. Count Noctilus is going to go on foot versus Lord Skrolk. I'm not sure if this is a good decision. I'm not sure if this is a bad decision, because his Necrofex Colossus was a huge hindrance for him in the first match. So let's see how that goes. They're fighting on foot. Count Noctilus has a decent stats, but I think Lord Skrolk is a little bit better with his plague abilities. Let's look at what Lord Skrolk has. 54 melee attack. Very nice, 400 weapon strength, and he has Rod of Corruption and the Liber Bubonicus, which he's going to use against Count Noctilus. Count Noctilus, does he have regeneration? He does have regeneration, so maybe that'll be enough for him to finish off Lord Skrolk. Again, I'm not sure if he should be fighting on foot. I'm not sure if he should be not fighting on foot, because Necrofex Colossus seemed to be a very controversial mount in this tournament. In the first round, I think it was the first round when he used the Necrofex Colossus, he just lost the match, and he then won on foot. So, but this time it looks like Count Noctilus is not doing too well, as he's debuffed by the Liber Bubonicus, and he is wounded and he is wavering. And I think he's gonna go maybe. Lord Skrolk is 1900 health. Count Noctilus still can make a comeback if he's not wavering, if he can regenerate just a little bit. I think he should be able to take Lord Skrolk. Let's look at these two. 1600 versus no. Lord Skrolk takes out of all the people, I guess, rats, maybe. Lord Skrolk takes the victory over Count Noctilus. Alright, this time Count Noctilus is not toying around. He is riding his Necrofex Colossus into Lord Skrolk, who has quite a lot of melee attack and a decent amount of melee defense. Let's see how this matchup goes. Lord Skrolk, wow, look at that. Lord Skrolk flies almost half the screen away from Count Noctilus, who just pummels him with his foot like a football ball. Lord Skrolk, I think he's doing a little bit better than Count Noctilus percentage-wise. Lord Skrolk is at, well, I would say probably like 80% of his health. Count Noctilus is down to maybe 70%, so let's see how that goes. He's trying to shoot, yeah, there is the famous football kick as Lord Skrolk is flying away. Count Noctilus is trying to shoot Lord Skrolk, which I don't think he is actually hitting him. I think he's missing all of his shots, and there, quick, Lord Skrolk is again flying away like a football. 3,100 for Lord Skrolk, and Count Noctilus is at 5,800. Yeah, it's a very close matchup percentage-wise, and I think Lord Skrolk, yeah, this time, this guy probably goes in favor of Count Noctilus, but Lord Skrolk is just trying to regenerate his powerful items that he has. The Zombie Pirate Dagger and Smoke, another way of cheating for Count Noctilus. Shame on you. We're going to send them away as he's still fighting Lord Skrolk. A very close matchup. A small rat versus a giant Necrofex Colossus that just cannot seem to be able to do anything against a very small but sneaky Lord Skrolk. 1,700 for Lord Skrolk versus 3,600 for the Necrofex Colossus. I think percentage-wise, Count Noctilus is also getting a little bit ahead. Count Noctilus, yeah, he takes a lot of damage. He's down to 3,500. Lord Skrolk is 1,700. No, he doesn't take that much damage. 300,000 health versus, let's look at Lord Skrolk. Lord Skrolk is at 1,700 still. nothing really happening between these two. Let's look at that close. What is Lord Scroll even hitting? Like the legs of Jesus Christ, I would never hit this thing. You would probably just die from the blood infection if you hit like one of these things and it'll get like rust in your blood and everything. Yeah, not a good idea. But maybe it's a good idea for Lord Scroll because he is poisonous himself and he won. I'm pretty sure, yeah, if you touch Lord Skulk, you get it's a good question who's more poisonous between these two. The super rusty iron of the Necrophix Colossus or Lord Skulk, who is the master of clan Pestilence. 1300 versus 2300. A very close matchup between these two. Again, the Necrophix Colossus just shooting around without any purpose. 1700 versus the yeah, they're almost at the same level of health. 1400 versus. He's almost wavering. Lance Krolke is down to 1000. Karnok is at 1500. There seems to be a close matchup between these two. And he's just shooting all the time, but all the shots are missing. They're flying in a different direction. And actually, he's shooting. I'm not sure whether he's shooting or not, because looking at the ammunition doesn't seem to be depleted. So maybe he's not shooting, but what is this then? Like the melee animation or anything? I'm not really sure. He takes such close a victory over Lord Scroll. One final hit on the small rat. And Count Noctilus, by some miracle or some pure chance, takes this match. So 1-1 between these two, and Count Noctilus barely getting alive out of this. Let us look at the other results in round 4 in this group. Changeling loses to Allbreak as expected, and Aranis Assault Spy loses to Quick Headtaker. So these are the standings after the second day. Skarsbrand the Exiled is leading this group. Yuan Bo and Quick Headtaker are maybe fighting for the second place, but considering that Quick Headtaker is gonna have to take on Skarsbrand the Exiled in the next round, and Yuan Bo is fighting against Count Noctilus, I'm pretty confident Yuan Bo will be able to secure his second place. In the last 2 places, we have Lord Skrolk, and the Changeling Lord Skrolk is gonna go against Aranis Assault Spy. Right now, she's leading a little bit. There is a stat, as you can see here, called the Buchholz, which basically means how strong were your opponents in your group. And Aranis Assault Spy opponents were a little bit stronger than the opponents of Lord Skrolk. But maybe Lord Skrolk will be able to jump onto this train and ride into the next tournament where he might get eliminated in the first round, but that would still be nice for him. So this is it for Group 7. Let us jump into Group 8. Here are the standings before day 2. Dutho Tyrion are leading the group. Nikari is in the 3rd place. Then Beliga Ironhammer with exactly the same score. And Hellman Ghost and Deathmaster Snitch, surprisingly, are the ones who are about to fly out of this tournament. But if you would ask me, I think this is the most packed and, well, one of the 2 most packed groups, this one, and the second one is with Taurox and Grimgore and Tamrokan the Maggot Lord. I think these 2 are just, they are the groups of death. Anybody can be the top lord in this group because it is so hard to get from this group into the playoffs. So let us jump into the matches without further ado. All right, starting with the first match, this is going to be Tyrion versus Durthu, the 2 leaders of this group. Let's compare these 2. Tyrion has a little bit better stats overall, a lot more melee defense, but he has just 4900 health, though that is not a good sign for him. Tyrion takes a lot of damage from the first strike of Durthu, but he buffed himself up to this incredible stats: 107 melee attack, 120 melee defense. Let's see if that is going to be... Let's see if Durthu is going to be able to break through that. That is a lot. And also 20% physical resistance. Yeah, it's going to be tough for Durthu to break through that. He also has 20% physical resistance, and he has magical attacks. So yeah, this is not going to be... The physical resistance is not going to be a problem for Durthu. But everything else might be. Tyrion is just a very, very strong lord, and let's speed this up a little bit and see if Durthu will be able to land his attacks on Tyrion. Tyrion is going down to 3900. He's not really taking that much damage. And Durthu, yeah, he's taking it. He's down to 58, 55, and Tyrion is still 39, 50. 1500. And Tyrion, yeah, he's down to 3200, but seems like Durther is not really landing a lot of his hits for some reason. Yeah, 96 melee defense. Probably a nightmare, complete nightmare for Durther to deal with. And Durther he has frenzy, but he doesn't have any form of regeneration or anything to get back his health. Tyrion's down 2400. Durther is down to 3800. A close match between these two, but Tyrion also has, as you remember, Tyrion has the let us find it. Where is it? Yeah, the Heart of Avalon, which is 20 plus 25% health if his hit points are less than 25%. So yeah, there is. Tyrion is healing up to 3200, and Durther is already down to 2000 health, and Durther, from the shock of it, just completely loses the match. Yeah, he cannot stand it. So much healing from Tyrion, and Tyrion is going to take the first match between these two. Let us look at the second match between these two, as both of them are charging into each other. Tyrion has 90 charge bonus, Durther has 44, so that is another advantage for Tyrion to use his very, very powerful stats in the initial stage of combat. Durther, maybe he has bracing, but I don't think he uses it in this match. Let's check. Actually, Durther has bracing. Maybe this one, yeah, he has extra charge defense. So maybe if he stood in place, that would be a possibility for him. But even without the charge, I don't think Durther is just strong enough in stats wise compared to Tyrion. Yes, he has a lot of weapon strength. He has a lot of melee attack, but melee defense is his weak point. Let's continue watching this match, and this time Tyrion doesn't seem to be taking that much damage compared to Durther. Or there are the strikes going through. Tyrion is down to 3100, 2700. Durther is at 5700. 5400 versus 2700. Tyrion is well, percentage-wise, I would say he is a little bit down, but considering he still has his regeneration trick up his sleeve, that's not good enough for Durther. I think Durther is going to go down without Tyrion even regenerating. He's down to 2700. Tyrion is at 2300. Durther is down to 2500. Manages to land a few another strikes on Tyrion. Tyrion is down to 1900, but Durther is almost at the same level, and he doesn't have the secret regeneration. So, going to be very tough for Durther to win this one. And look at that, 72 melee defense, 83 melee attack. Tyrion, and that is almost without the buffs. He just has the martial mastery, which pretty much applies all the time, because he also, yeah, Tyrion takes this one 2-0 for Tyrion. Is regeneration sexy? Does Slaanesh improve of regeneration? Let's find this out as we jump into the next match. Nikari is charging into Throg. Let's compare these two. Throg has a lot, same amount of health, a little bit worse in other stats, but he has the anti-large bonus, which is going to come in handy. Obviously, Nikai has abysmal armor. Throg is, what was that? He was rolling back down, and then through some troll magic started to roll back right into Nikari. Throg took a little bit of damage, but he has, let's look at the regeneration rate, 8 health per second. Yeah, pretty decent regeneration rate. Nikari started to do damage, but yeah, that's the issue with Nikari. He has physical resistance, which is gonna help, but he doesn't have any way to regenerate his health, and he's kind of a fragile load, I would say. Throg is getting knocked down, and Nikari is very honorably waiting for Throg to get up. Let us speed up this match a little bit and see if Nikari is gonna have an easy victory over Throg. He's landing a lot of hits. Throg is down to 4700, but Nikari is also at 4700. They both are the same level of health. Throg has one of the abilities that gives him the Unbreakable. Yeah, the Wintertooth Crown gives him Unbreakable. For a while in there, then he flies back, and then he rolls into Nikari for some reason. How does he do that? Throg, what a champ. He wants to get into the battle. He wants to use his hammer against Nikari, who is again very honorably waiting for Throg to get into battle. Throg is at 4. Both of them are almost at 3500 health. Hard to say who is going to win, because I think damage-wise Nikari is doing better, but Throg has regeneration. And while he's rolling around, while he's flying all around the arena, that is all the time. This is ticking. This is giving him a little bit more health, and a little bit more health, a little bit more health. Things are looking good looking for Nikari. Nikari is down to 1400. And look at that. Throg is just, yeah, he's like a football player. He knows how to simulate. He is just breaking time. He's waiting for his health to come back. Oh, he's rolling on the floor. His knee hurts. No, he's back into the match. Throg is at 2300. The guy is down to 1000, last 1000 health. Yeah, it's not looking good for Nakari. He needs to win this battle. Now Throg is again lying on the football pitch, hurting his knee. Oh, my knee, my ankle. Okay, I'm back into the game, but meanwhile, I'm already at yeah, he goes down, and the guy refuses to attack the opponents that are lying down. Look at that. Yeah, that's a very sneaky way to get back almost 100 health points, as Nakari is still waiting for him to get up. Nakari is out to 600 health, and looks like he's gonna go down. Yeah, Nakari, of all the demons, loses to Throg. Let's jump into the second match between these two and maybe see if Nakari can redeem himself. He charges into Throg. He does so much damage. Oh, yeah, he's probably furious this time. Throg is down. He's using his rollback technique, but Throg is already down to 5200 health. Nakari, I think he realized what to do in this match. He just needs to do damage very quickly. No time to wait for all these shenanigans. Wait until Throg goes up, and yeah, he's just pummeling him around again. But as we just said, this is just time for Throg to get back his health. Nakari is still waiting for him to get up. Throg is still at 5000. Nakari is taking a little bit of damage, but I think Throg is the one that is taking a lot more damage this time. He's down to 3800, 3900 compared to Nakari, who is at 5900. So Throg, yeah, I think Nakari is still leading by 1000 health. So let's compare these two again. 4600 versus 3700. Yeah, Nakari is, I think the lead is closing from Throg's side. No, he just took a lot of damage. So the lead is again almost, I would say 1500 health for in favor of Nakari. So I think if Throg didn't roll around that much, it would be easier for Nakari, because knocking down Throg is not really that useful. Yeah, so let's see if Throg maybe will take the second win through his rolling. No, he's down to 300, and yeah, he doesn't have time to use his ability, and Throg loses the second one. 1-1 between Throg and Nakari. Let's showcase one on the last matches in this round. Valkyrie the Bloody versus Belgar Iron Hammer. Valkyrie is flying into Belgar. She has almost the same amount of health, almost the same stats, a little bit less armor. Yeah, so very equally matched opponents, but Belgar has this thing, which is plus 40 melee attack for 33 seconds, Revenge Incarnate, very useful, plus 24 melee defense and expert charge defense, very good, very useful against flying lords. Valkyrie charges into Belgar, and she uses her demon shield, which makes her invulnerable, but it doesn't look like Belgar is... oh, look at that, Belgar buffed himself up to 1000 melee attack, 24 melee defense, and almost 700 weapon strength. That is a lot. And now he's leading a lot in the stats compared to Valkyria, plus 44 melee attack, and that is quite a bit of time. He looks like Belgar just used his time wisely with the stats, because Valkyria, while she was invulnerable, she still couldn't do much damage to Belgar, and Belgar managed to land the hits on Valkyria, so Valkyria is down already to 4400. Belgar is sitting almost at full health, 5600 compared to 3500 for Valkyria. It's kind of surprising compared that these two they have the same melee attack and melee defense, but I think for some reason Belgar is just doing much better. He has I'm just curious what the reason is why he's doing so much better in this match. Valkyria, yeah, she has frenzy in the case of Korn, but apart from that, she's just not landing the strikes on Belgar for some reason. And it looks like Valkyrie is almost about to go down without really much of a fight with Belgar. Let's speed this up a little bit, and Belgar is down to 5000 health, but yeah, that's not good enough. Belgar takes 1-0 against Valkyrie. Let's see if maybe she can make a comeback in the second match between these two. Alright, let's look at the second match as Valkyrie again charges into the Belgar Iron Hammer, who is bracing for impact. There she is. She uses her Demon Shield again to negate the damage. And I think this time she managed to land a few hits on Belgar, so I think this match is going to be maybe a little bit closer. Belgar is down to 4500 and Valkyrie is also at 4500. They're both dancing around to almost equally sized lords. She's just a little bit bigger than Belaga, which is surprising considering he's a dwarf and she's actually, I would say she's actually almost of the same height as him. So is she secretly a dwarf? Is Valkyria the bloody a demon dwarf? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, we have chaos dwarfs, but I don't think we have demon dwarfs. Yeah, that would be interesting to see. But both of them are sitting almost at 3,500 health. Valkyria, I really love this animation. Look at that as she jumps from the sky into Belaga, but Belaga also jumps from the sky into Valkyria. It seems maybe they're lost brother and sister or something. They're very similar to each other, surprisingly. Maybe they'll just stop fighting and hug each other. And well, maybe that's not going to happen in this tournament, as Belaga, I think, is doing just a little bit better. Yeah, 2,800 versus 3,100. And Valkyria, for some reason, just not hitting Belagar. Maybe this 5 points in melee defense makes the difference. Maybe it's the animations, but yeah, Valkyria is down to 2,100. Belagar manages to get a little bit of a lead in this match. Let's speed this up a little bit. And it looks like Valkyria is taking a lot more damage than Belagar. Belagar is down to 2,800, but Valkyria is already at 1,400. Her leadership is at 30. Not looking good for Valkyria. Again, she's curious about their animations because they seem to be missing a lot of each other. Maybe she's missing Belagar. Belagar is not a very large target, so maybe that is his secret source that he's using in this match. But Valkyrie is down to 1,200 against Belagar. Let's see if maybe she can turn this around. She's trying to hit Belagar. No, I don't think it's working to her, and she loses 2-0 for Belagar in this match. Let us look at the other matches in round 3. Deathmaster Snitch wins a very, very, very well-deserved victory against Hellman Ghost. Who would have thought 2-0 to Deathmaster Snitch? Red Duke manages to beat Ekid Claw. And then the other matches we have seen. What a surprise from Frog, who manages to draw his 3rd match in a row. Wow. Curious if that is going to continue as the next match, as Throg is going to be taking Durtho. Maybe not, but we'll see how that goes. So let us jump into round 4. If you could say unstoppable force versus an unmovable object, this is gonna be it. Tyrion charging into Belagar Iron Hammer in our next match. Let's see how this one goes. Tyrion is speeding up to 120 speed. He charges into Belagar. Yeah, nothing from this impact. And let's see how they are fighting against each other. Tyrion is down to 4,600. Belagar is at 5,300. They both managed to buff themselves up to very, very high stats. Almost equal melee attack from both of them, but Belagar has a little bit worse melee defense, and I don't think his weapon damage is armor piercing. Yeah, he has almost 18. Yeah, he has 180 armor piercing damage. Let's look at Tyrion. He has 310 armor piercing. So yeah, Tyrion is the armor piercing champion between these two. The health is almost equal. 4,300 versus 3,800. But I think Tyrion is also chipping away at Belagar's health slowly. Maybe thanks to that armor piercing damage and a little bit better stats in melee attack, melee defense. Yeah, it doesn't look like Belagar is gonna be able to take this one. This is a very slow match. Not a lot of damage done by each swing, but I think Tyrion is slowly but surely chipping away to victory. Belagar got down to 1,800. Tyrion is at 3,700. And yeah, looks like Belagar is gonna go down in the first match between these two. Let us look at the second match between these two and see if this is gonna go any better for Belagar. Tyrion again charges into him, no charge bonus, but Belagar again starts to very slowly lose his health compared to Tyrion. Yeah, I don't think the 120 armor from Tyrion, I think this is much tougher for Belagar than Valkyria was in the previous round. She just didn't have that much armor. So let's look at these two: 3,200 versus 3. Yeah. I think Tyrion is going to take this one again. 2,500 versus 1,800, but Tyrion also has his secret healing ability. Let's speed this up a little bit and see if maybe Belagar can make a comeback with some lucky strikes. We have seen this happen in this tournament already. Yeah, he's down to 1,400, 2,500. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. The lucky strikes are coming his way. He loses the second match 2-0 for Tyrion. Let us jump into the next match and see if the master of rolling and crying from pain on the floor is going to be able to take on the very angry Durtho in this matchup. Throg charges into Durtho, and none of them are rolling. I think he's. Let's look at the mass. Durtho is 7,000 kilograms, I guess, and Throg is. Yeah, Throg is a little bit lighter. So Durtho may be able to kick him around a little bit, I guess. Throg is sitting at 6,600 health. Durtho has more health than Throg, and I think they are. Yeah, Durtho has 15 more melee attack. I think that's much better than Throg. Throg has an anti-large bonus, though. Yeah, quite a decent one. I think, yeah, Throg is not doing too well. Durtho is landing his strikes quite nicely. Yes, Throg is down to 4,200 health. Durtho is still sitting almost at full health, and looks like Throg, without rolling around, Throg is not doing that well. Actually, wait, he is actually... No, he is actually making a comeback. Look at that. So he is already down up to 4,000 health. Durtho is has 5,500 health. And let's see, he is debuffed by the Frostbite, but that doesn't matter. He has Frenzy, which is a very useful ability. And Throg has Regeneration, but yeah, Durtho doesn't have any flaming attacks. Obviously, he is a Treeman. Why should he? Let's continue watching this match. As percentage-wise, both of them are sitting at very equal percents of health. They are almost not moving. Both of them are very, very lazy fighters. Both of them are just standing in place and hitting each other. Throg is down to 2,200. Durtho is down to 3,000 health, so very, very, very close. Yeah, Durtho is a little bit in the lead. Both of them managed to land a very nice strike on each other. Throg is down to 12 leadership. That is not good for Throg. Although he's catching up, no, Durtho is gonna take this one. Jumping into the second match, let's see if Throg can maintain his tradition and turn this again into a draw. And oh my god, look at that. So much damage coming in from Durtho. He has the Fight or Die buff to his melee attack, but Durtho, yeah, he's just getting strike after strike on Throg. Throg uses Unbreakable, but I think that might be too early for him. Yeah, but let's look at this. Durtho is just landing strike after strike on Throg is down to 3,300. Durtho is still at 5,300. So, not really a close match, and Throg cannot roll around. Maybe because Durtho is not so keen on pushing him, or maybe there's a mass difference. I need to check this, but I think maybe But is Nakari more heavy than Durtho? I don't think he is, because he has to run around so much, but Durtho takes a very nice victory over Throg. 2-0 for Durtho. Let us look at the final match in this group, the battle of this game, as Deathmaster Snitch is riding into Ikit Claw. He was riding his Doom Wheel, and let's see if Ikit Claw is going to be cheating and using his ammunition as other lords have previously in the past. Both of them charging each other. Yeah, there he is. Obviously, cheating. Ikit Claw. Well, I mean, he's Skaven, so he's allowed to do that. That's fine. That's okay. Yes. Deathmaster Snitch flies around from the impact of the charge that Ikit Claw did into him. Deathmaster Snitch, such a weird lord. He has good stats. He has good melee attack, melee defense, very good weapon strength, but so little health, so little armor. He needs to do his damage very quickly or he's gonna be dead. I think he is the Whirl of the Whirling Blades. Deathmaster Snitch is at 3,000 health, and Ikit Claw is debuffed by the Whipping Blade. He is sitting at 55 armor. Yeah, that's a very strong debuff, and also minus 10 melee defense. Looks like Deathmaster Snitch, despite again rolling around and getting up, is still in the game, as he is actually quite in the game. He takes a lot of damage from the charge, but he is a little bit ahead of Ikit Claw, who is just trying to just push him down. Then use his cheating. Well, he's not actually cheating right now. I think he just realized that we are watching. Yeah, no, no, he didn't realize that. Yeah, no. Deathmaster Snitch gets up and charges into Ikit Claw. 2,000 health. Deathmaster Snitch is actually taking a lot of damage. Yeah, a poor rat. I'm not sure why, but the Skaven Assassin, he doesn't seem to be really that good as assassinating other lords. You would think he would be one of the best lords in terms of assassination, but he's down to... He's 2 leadership. Yeah, well, he's down to 1600. Ikit Core is at 2700. And yeah, that was his niche. Probably needs some other mechanics to make sure he can do his assassinations. He's just not really on par with other lords. Ikit Claw is already causing a lot of trouble for Deathmaster. Ikit Claw is down to 1700. Deathmaster Stitch is at 1400. So, wait, what? Ikit Claw takes a victory over Death Master Snitch, who goes down into look at that, as he goes down into whatever that is coming from the doom wheel that Ikit Claw is riding. What a surprising victory for Ikit Claw. Let us jump into the second match between these two. Ikit Claw is charging into Deathmaster Snitch. Can Deathmaster Snitch win this second battle? He gets well, he stopped the charge with his body, gets off with the whirling blade. He is whirling his tail right as he lies. He's lying on the floor beneath Ikit Claw. Deathmaster Snitch again, rolling on the floor, trying to dodge the doom wheel and the cheating shooting that Ikit Claw is doing. He's down again. Let's see if Deathmaster Snitch will be able to get up and do something. No, he is flying again and again. What is this? No, Deathmaster Snitch, come on. What is his mass? 500. Yeah, that is not a lot. I think Ikit Claw is much heavier on his doom wheel. Yeah, he is 3 times as heavy as the Deathmaster, but I think the Deathmaster did a little bit better this time. He did a little bit more damage to Ikit Claw. Deathmaster Siege flies away again as Ikit Claw charges into him on his doom wheel, and he's using his ammunition quite a lot in this match. Not very honorable of Ikit, but again, as we said, he is a rat. Yeah, Ikit, although Ikit is down to 1500, Deathmaster Siege is at 1700, 1600, so it looks like this is going to be not one of those close matchups where it's gonna be decided probably in the last seconds between these two. Ikit Claw charges again on his doom wheel into Deathmaster, and he stops. Oh yeah, that is the Deathmaster sigil. The Deathmaster used to make sure he doesn't charge into him. Well played, Deathmaster Snitch. Almost the same amount of health. Deathmaster Snitch took a little bit of damage, and he needs to do something right now against Ikit. Same amount of health from both of them. Ikit is affected by the Whipping Blade, minus armor, but Deathmaster Snitch, yeah, manages to land. No strikes landed so far. Yeah, Deathmaster Snitch. I'm trying to find him in his picture. I'm not sure where he is. He takes a victory, but is he inside the wheel? No, he's not inside the wheel. It's kind of interesting. Like, we have so many reds here, right? You have look at that. You have reds running inside the doom wheel. You have the reds operating the doom wheel. You have wait, is that Ikit Claw? Yeah, that is Ikit Claw. That is the red operating the doom wheel. There is a small reds riding inside the doom wheel. There's so many of them, like 1, 2, wow, look at that. And oh yeah, this is Deathmaster Snitch, probably cutting off one of the wires with his tail or something, but he manages to stop the doom wheel and score a very, very nice victory, 1-1 between these two. Alright, so here the results from round 4 in Group A. Tyrion beats Belga Ironhammer. Helman Ghost loses to Valkyr Bloody Durthu, beats Drogi Kitlaw, draws with Deathmaster Snitch, and Nikari gets a very, very needed victory against the Red Duke. And here are the standings. Tyrion and Durthu are in the first and the second place. Tyrion is undefeated. Nikari managed to climb to the third place despite not really a stellar performance, but yeah, Nikari managed to beat Valkyr the Bloody and then the Red Duke, and yeah, not really the best performance from Nikari, 2-1-1, but there he goes. Belga Ironhammer in the fourth and fifth place with Valkyr the Bloody, and Helman Gorst and Ikit Claw are the candidates to go out of this group, probably just as we expected. In round 5, we're gonna see Durthu versus Nikari for the battle for the second place. Ikit Claw is gonna take on Throg, which I don't think is happening. Helman Ghost is gonna give some easy points to the Red Duke. Belga Ironhammer is gonna find Deathmaster Snitch, and that might be an interesting matchup. Belga Ironhammer, as we saw, he's a very tanky lord, but he doesn't do that much damage, and that's exactly what Deathmaster Snitch wants. He wants somebody who doesn't do much damage so that he has enough time to do the damage. And finally, Tyrion is going to be tested by Valkyr the Bloody. I don't think she's going to take this one, but anything can happen in this tournament. So this was it for Group 8. All right, let's get into the next group. Group 9. Here are the standings after the first two rounds. Belko and Rokath are in the first two places without any losses. They're going to be the first match that we're going to see. Astrogov, Lord Mazdamandis, Craig the Slaughterer, and Tic Tac Toe are still fighting for the middle places. And Mother Stanke and Ripuns, it looks like, are the ones that are about to fly out. But Manfred von Karstein is also not really far away from them with just one draw and one loss. So let's jump into the matches and see how they go in this group. All right, let us jump into the first match of Group 9. This is going to be Rakath versus Balakor, the battle in the skies, just as we love it. Let's look at the competitors. Balakor has a little bit more health and more melee attack, but less weapon strength, and they are very equally matched. Balakor uses his Shadow Shroud plus 60% damage resistance. That is a lot, but Rakath is also using his Beast Cleaver, which is giving him a huge anti-ledge bonus, 31 anti-ledge bonus. That is absolutely huge. And he also has a little bit of his own ward save, plus 11% damage resistance. But that is for the full duration of the match, unlike Belakor, who is soon gonna run out of his shield. And also Belakor has regeneration, but his regeneration only works if his opponents are wavering, so that's probably gonna take him a while. Let's see these two battle each other, Rakath, and Rakath is a little bit down compared to Belakor, but I think percentage-wise they are quite evenly matched. Belakor has 45 armor compared to 90 that Rakath has, so he's doing a little bit worse in that department. Belakor is down to 6000 and Rakath is at 4500, but I think overall having plus 11% ward save and plus 10 melee defense for the whole match is a little bit better than having these temporary buffs that go up. So let's see how this match goes. 3900 versus 4900. Belakor is still ahead. He's slightly ahead and he's using his... Let's look at that. Yeah, he's using his magical sword to attack the mighty... I think the dragon. Yeah, that is the dragon that Rakath is riding. So Rakath is down to 3200. Belakor is at 3400. Rakath is catching up in this match. I think his... yeah, let's look at the physical resistance Belakor has. Where's that? No, he doesn't have any physical resistance, so the magical attacks Rakath had didn't really help much. And oh, it's actually Belakor who has magical attacks, and Rakath has just ward save, so not really helping. Belakor uses his Shadow Shroud again, 2600 versus 2900. Rakath is actually catching up in this match. He's doing very slowly, but he's doing more damage than Belakor. Belakor is down to 2500 versus 2600. Oh, this is going to be a close one between these two leaders of Group 9. Let's continue watching the match and see if... yeah, I think Rakath is actually ahead now. He's 1900 versus 900 health for Belakor. Belakor doesn't look too good right now. And Belakor, no, his leadership is 55. I think he's going to lose this one. Belakor goes down, and I think Rakath is going to take one. Well, the first match goes to Rakath. Well done, Rakath. And let's see if Belakor will be able to make a comeback in the second one. Alright, let us jump into the second match between these two, as again, Belakor with almost the same bonus as Rakath charges into Rakath, and he's using his Shadow Shroud. Rakath is also taking more damage initially, just as in the first round, but as we saw, I think this anti-large bonus is his secret source, and also the constant 11% ward save. This is what's giving him a little bit of an advantage compared to Belakor, who has only temporary abilities. Let's slow this down and look at the competitors. Belakor is at 6700 health, Rakath is at 5100, so Rakath is doing a little bit worse, but he's up to 700 strength with the anti-large bonus, so that should help hitting Belakor. Belakor has 56 melee defense, which is a good stat, but I think with the anti-large bonus, it's not going to be enough. Sorry, 55 defense. I was looking at Rakath. Yeah, and the Lord of Torment is not working for Belakor, so let's continue watching this match. Rakath is down to 3900. Belakor is at 4300. Yeah, Rakath is again catching up. Wow, how does he do that? He's debuffed heavily by the Dark Master, just 15 melee attack. He's not gonna be able to hit Belakor for a while. And this is a chance for Belakor to make a comeback, but Rakath also has 56 melee defense, and I guess for Belakor, Maybe it's a little bit hard to hit Rakat. He actually has 70 melee attacks, so I think Be'lakor should be technically getting more attacks against Rakat, but for some reason that's not working out too well for him. Let's continue watching as Be'lakor again uses his Shadow Shroud to negate the damage, and it's 2400 for Rakat versus 3800 for Be'lakor. Let's speed this up a little bit. As both loads get very low, 1700 for Rakath versus 2600 for Be'lakor. Rakath is already at 20 leadership. That is very low. Be'lakor is still at 49, but Be'lakor is down to 2200. They're almost at the same health percentage-wise. I think the real health is also the same. Yeah, 1300 versus 1400. This is gonna depend on the last strikes. Be'lakor, no, he misses Rakath, and Rakath lands a strike. 4800 from Be'lakor, and Be'lakor goes down again in the second match. He cannot beat Rakath. Rakath takes the victory 2-0 for Rakath in this match. Let us jump into the next match as we are watching the Battle of the Climates, the very southern temperate Lustria. Well, not temperate, it's a jungle compared to the northern wastelands of Kislev. Kastaltin fighting for Kislev. He's charging into Mazdamani. Mazdamani has a lot more health, 4000 more health, but other stats that Mazdamani has are not that good. 26 melee attack, 48 melee defense, a decent charge bonus, but I don't think he has much else going in with him. He's using the shield of the old ones. That is 20% ward save for 17 seconds, a very nice ability. But as we know, Kastaltin has a lot of his abilities of his own. That is the Battle Hymn, that's giving him plus 40 melee attack. And he also has healing and vigor, loss reduction, and a few other things a Patriarch should have. Let's look at this battle as the bear is fighting for his life against this huge dinosaur monster. Kastaltin is down to 5100 compared to 8300 for Mazdamani, and he's poisoned, so I don't think poison is actually doing that much against Kastaltin because he has armor piercing and he has huge melee attack stats. He buffs himself up again, he heals himself up, and Kastaltin goes up to almost full health while Mazdamani is slowly losing his health. He has no way to heal himself, and Kastaltin is slowly chipping away at Mazdamani's health. Mazdamani is down to 6300 while Kastaltin is down to 4400, but I think his abilities are gonna come back from the cooldowns for the second time. Yeah, there it is. He gets the Blaze of Devotion, and here is the healing, and here is the melee attack. So let's slow this down and look at the match. Kastaltin is down to 3500, but he's still at half health. Well, Mazdamani, he has a little bit more health, but his health is going down compared to Kastaltin. He just needs to do more damage quicker to Kastaltin before his cooldowns come back. Sorry for that. Kastaltin is poisoned, and yeah, he is. Let's see if Kastaltin is gonna be able to use his cooldowns for the third one, the third time. He's using the vigor loss per second. Not really the one he wanted. He wants the health regeneration and plus 40 melee attack. Mazdamani is at 3400. Kastaltin is down to 1500, but there it is. No, that's not one of the buffs. We're still waiting for them. 1500 versus 2900, yeah, a very close matchup. Mazdamani was doing a lot of damage to Kastaltin, but I think this is the first match where Kastaltin had a chance to use his abilities. Was it 2 times or 3 times in a row? I can't quite remember, but he was healing a lot. Let's look at that. The card shows Sacrifice, that is plus 5 melee defense, and there is the Regeneration Ursa's Ward that gives him plus health per second when his hit points are less than 25. So there's more healing for Kastaltin, and that's not one of his abilities. That is a passive ability. So he's healing up again. Mazdamani, you need to do the damage quicker to Kastaltin. Kastaltin is healing up, and Mazdamani, yeah, he's at 2300 health, but looks like Kastaltin has quite a bit of health before he gets to the healing cap. He's at 1500s, and Mazdamani is also almost at 1500, 1200, and Kastaltin is gonna score a victory in this match, and he's also gonna score a victory in the second matchup between these two in exactly the same way. If you fight Kastaltin, you just need to do the damage quicker before he has a chance to heal it all back up, because he has so many healing abilities, and he also does very nice damage. So it's gonna be 2-0 for Kastaltin in this matchup. Let's look at the other matchups in Group 9. In the first one, Mother Stankia loses to Repans as expected. Manfred von Karstein beats Scrag the Slaughterer, who is not really much of a fighter. He doesn't have any abilities or items that he can use in the matchups. That's not really looking good for Scrag. And Astrogoth, on the other hand, manages to be the menace in the sky. Well, not really the menace in the sky, but menace in regards to Manfred von Karstein, who for some reason lost to Tic-Tac-Toe in the Battle of the Skies, but Tic-Tac-Toe cannot take Astrogoth Iron Hand. Let us jump into round 4 and see how that goes. Let us jump into the first match in Group 9 as the undefeated Rakar is going to try to fight Astrogoth Iron Hand, representing the Chaos Dwarfs. Let's look at his mechanical suit. Yeah, let's fix it up before the matchup. You're gonna need that Astrogoth. And let us compare the two lords. Astrogoth has 40 more armor and actually more melee attack and melee defense, but almost 80 less weapon strength and almost 1500, more than 1500 less health compared to Rakas. So see how that goes. Astrogoth is taking a lot of damage from the charge. He doesn't have any bracing abilities. He has the Black Hammer of Hashut, which gives him more damage, more weapon strength. And he has weakness to fire that is not going to come into effect. He doesn't have any bonuses versus Large, but he is Large himself. So Rakath has bonuses against him. Rakath took a lot of damage. Rakath is down to 5300 compared to 5200 of Astrogoth. Astrogoth is very, very strong in this match. Let's see what else he has. Mechanical Overdrive, that's not doing much to him. Whip of Agony, yeah, that's Rakath debuffing him. Stone Mantle, that's giving him more and more physical resistance, plus 4% physical resistance. That might come into account. I guess 4% is not really that much, but in such matchups, every single point of HP counts. Rakath is down to 4000, whereas Astrogoth is at 4200. Astrogoth is managed to take the lead against Rakath, and let's look at that. Astrogoth also has flaming attacks, so that I think is very nice. No, it's not very nice against Rakath because Rakath doesn't have any regeneration. So Astrogoth is he's just doing a lot of damage. Yeah, I think just having more melee attack and melee defense, 60 and 50 compared to 55 and 46, I think that makes a very nice difference for Astrogoth, who well, he is in the lead a little bit. I got this down to 2600, I guess. Astrogoth is at 3100. Let's speed this up and see how that goes for Rakath and Astrogoth. Rakath seems to be losing a lot of health. He's down to 1200. Astrogoth is still at 2700, and he takes the match against the undefeated Rakath. Rakath gets defeated for the first time. Let us look at the second match between these two as Rakath again charges into Astrogoth, hoping to get a tie out of this match. Astrogoth is fixing his suit very quickly. He takes again a lot of damage from the charge. He's down to 5600, but Rakath is probably going to feel the pain from trying to assault Astrogoth right now. Let's watch this match and see how it goes this time. Rakath again, yeah, he's taking the damage very quickly. Astrogoth is down 4200. Rakath is at 6600. Yeah, I think that charge bonus, this time it worked much better for Rakath. Astrogoth is down to 2700. Rakath is still sitting at 5200. So he has quite a huge health advantage of the Astrogoth. This time Astrogoth still has 50 leadership, so he's not wavering. He's not gonna just surrender and give up, unless, like some other competitors in this tournament. Looking at you, Skaven competitors, well, not really, because the Skaven were surprisingly courageous in most of the matches, so well done. And let's look at this match. The Rakath is down to 4000. He is going down very quickly. The Beast Cleaver is using the Beast Cleaver to do a little bit more damage to Astrogoth. But Astrogoth seems to be, yeah, he seems to be the master of comebacks. He takes a lot of damage, and then he's just doing damage. He's just making a comeback. Not really sure what's helping. 40%, 14% physical resistance. I think that may be one of the keys while he's managing to equalize the match with Rakath. Rakath is at 3600 and Astrogoth is down to 2300. Rakath is still in the lead, but maybe the physical resistance is gonna, yeah, it's 20% physical resistance right now for Astrogoth. He's gonna need it in this matchup. He needs to do more damage to Rakath. None of the lords have any buffs, and another Let's look at the armor-piercing damage that Raghav has. Yeah, almost all of his damage is armor-piercing, so a lot of armor that Estrogoth has, that's not really helping him. Raghav is down to 2700, Estrogoth is at 1300. Let's speed this up a little bit as the match goes, and Estrogoth is still at 1300, Raghav is down to 1700. He just cannot get a strike on Estrogoth. For some reason, he's up to 26% physical resistance, 1100 health versus 800 health. That is so close. Let's watch the match as Estrogoth tries to land a blow on Raghav. He misses it. Estrogoth still at 800. He's down to 600 health, but Raghav is also down to 300, and he loses this second match from the... What's happening? Estrogoth is breathing fire, all flaming whiskey coming from his ear or somewhere. I'm not sure what that is, but Estrogoth, whatever that was the right play. Estrogoth wins this match 2-0 for Estrogoth. Let us look at one of the competitors we haven't seen so far, Repans de Lyonesse, fighting Be'lakor as he's charging into her. Let us compare the stats. Repans has twice as little health as Be'lakor, and her anti-infantry bonus is not going to help her. She does have the 15% ward save, which is the blessing of the lady, so that might come in handy versus Be'lakor. But as we remember, Be'lakor has 60% ward save, and that is very hard to deal with him. And look at that, Be'lakor charges into Repans, and victory is already in his grasp. According to the Warhammer client, Repans is down to 3800. She has the Fleur of L'Eau de Lis butter, which gives her 80 melee defense and a little bit more melee attack, but she's getting so many debuffs from Be'lakor. She's down to 13 melee attack. She just cannot land a hit on Be'lakor, and Be'lakor is still at full health. Let's continue watching this match as Be'lakor is still trying to land some hits on Repans. That doesn't seem to be going too well, but Repans doesn't have any healing. I think that is one of her greatest weaknesses. She just doesn't have any way to get back from all the damage that Be'lakor has done. She's down to 1700, and yeah, she's gonna lose the first and then the second match to Be'lakor. She is no match for the first Demon Prince. Let us look at the final match in this group. This is going to be Manfred von Karstein charging into Gestaltin, the Patriarch of Kislev. Faith or Vampires? Who is going to win? Make your bets. Let's see how this matchup goes. Manfred charges. Gestaltin has flaming attacks, which is very good against Manfred. He will not be able to regenerate as easily. And let's see how this goes. Gestaltin took a bit of damage, but he has his buffs. He has his melee attack buff. He has this Blaze of Devotion. He has Frenzy, so his melee attack is going to be just fine. Manfred doesn't have much else apart from he has a sort of unholy power that doesn't help. He has Hunger, which gives him regeneration, but that is one of the only things he can use. Let's watch how this match goes. Gestaltin takes a little bit of damage, and so does Manfred. Both of them have regeneration, but Manfred's regeneration is going to be hindered. So Manfred is trying to... Gestaltin is landing a lot more hits on Manfred than Manfred on Gestaltin. Let's slow this down and look at this matchup. Closer. Manfred is down to 3400. Gestaltin is at 2900. At 2100. Gestaltin took a lot of damage. His his abilities. Something should heal. Yes, Alex Lullaby kicks in as his cooldowns come back. He's regenerating back his health. And Manfred, yeah, he's still ahead compared to Gestaltin. Well, he's not ahead anymore. They're very close right now. But 110 melee attack, that is a lot. And Manfred doesn't have any defense mechanism, so he's down to 2000 health. Compared to Gestaltin, Gestaltin is in the lead, and he's getting more and more strikes on Manfred. Manfred is down to 1,000. I think he's going to go down. Gestaltin is going to take this one. Yeah, Gestaltin takes the first match for Kislev. Let's look at the second match between these two. The vampires are coming for revenge on the priests. Will the faith keep Gestaltin alive this time, or will it not be enough? Let's check this out. Manfred is charging into Gestaltin. Gestaltin is taking a lot of damage using all his buffs to regenerate the health back, but this time it looks like Manfred is managing to land strike after strike on Gestaltin, and this is exactly what we were talking about. You need to do damage to Gestaltin quicker before he has time to regenerate it. Manfred is at 6,000 health. Gestaltin is down to 1,600. What a good matchup for Manfred. Gestaltin is already wavering. His Kislev Unbreakable ability kicks in. But Kastalin is down to 1,000 health compared to 6,000 for Manfred. Yeah, what a good match for Manfred. He's just, everything is working in his favor. Kastalin down to 300 health. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be taking this one. Manfred, somehow he managed to turn fate in his favor. Should be a very easy victory for Manfred in one strike. Yeah, there it is. 1-1 between these two. Let us look at the table and see what else happened. Mother Astankia lost to the Menace in Disguise Tic-Tac-Toe. Scrag the Slaughterer couldn't manage to take Lord Mazdamani. And as we just saw, Belacor managed to beat Ripans, and Gestalten drew 1-1 with Manfred von Karstein. So here are the final standings. What a surprising triangle, because Rakav... no, actually, let me check that. So, Rakav, Belacor, and Astragoth Ironhand. So Belacor loses to Astragoth Ironhand, then Astragoth Ironhand beats Rakav, and then Rakav beats Belacor. So all the first three places managed to beat each other in a triangle. What a weird group. Both of them have 3 victories and 1 loss, and both of them have 4 points. So let's see, the next match is Belacor versus Mother Stankia. Easy points for Belacor. And then Astragoth is going to fight Kasteltin. Hard to say where this one will go. I think Astragoth is going to be tough enough to win this one. And then Rakath is going to fight the Menace in the Sky Tic-Tac-Toe. Maybe this will be a hard one, I'm not sure, because the battles in the skies, for some reason, Tic-Tac-Toe seems to be really good in them. Then Manfred von Karstein is fighting Lord Bastamandi, and Repans is gonna fight Scrag the Slaughterer for probably position 8 and the last ticket into the grand finals. Just to remind you, places 9 and 10 are gonna leave us, so right now it's looks pretty bad for Mother Sankhya, and Scrag the Slaughterer, he needs that last victory against Repans, and we will see that very soon. All right, and the last group, Group 10, Day 2. Here are the standings before we begin the matches. Archaeon, the Ever-Chosen, Xiaoming, and Epidemius both have no losses. And we're going to start with Archaeon versus Xiaoming. Sartorial, Festus, and Grand Hierophant Katap are the ones that are about to fly out of this group. It's going to be interesting to see which one of them is going to make it. I think either Festus or Sartorial. I don't think Grand Hierophant Katap is strong enough to make it, but we'll see how that goes. So let us jump into the matches and see how they go. Let us jump into the first match. This is going to be Xiaoming versus Archaeon, the ever-chosen Xiaoming. I think is going to transform into the Iron Dragon, who is then going to charge into Archaeon. Let's wait for his transformation. I'm not sure why CA designed it this way, but you have to wait 30 seconds each match before you can transform into a dragon. I'm not really sure what purpose does this serve, but anyway, let's look at Xiaoming. He has 5% ward save. Not a lot, but hey, we'll take it. Astragoth Archaeon has 10% physical resistance, so Xiaoming has magical attacks, so that's not going to help him too much. He also has some of the best stats in the game, probably on the level of Tyrion, and it would be very interesting to see which one of these two is the better lord, as they will likely face off in the grand final. But let's look at this match. Xiaoming charges into Archaeon, but Archaeon, let's look at that. He has charge reflection, so Xiaoming, instead of Archaeon, takes all the damage that he was supposed to make to Archaeon. Archaeon, yeah, he didn't lose a single... Yeah, well, he lost. He lost 5 points of HP from Xiaoming. He was down almost 1,000 health. Xiaoming tries to do damage to Archaeon. Let's see if this goes anywhere. Archaeon is down like 400 health. Xiaoming is already at half health. He's just not landing. Yeah, this 60 melee defense, I guess, and is just not good enough. Xiaoming is already at 3,300. Archaeon is down 900 health in this match. That is almost nothing. Look at that. Xiaoming just cannot do anything against Archaeon. No, I don't think he's healing up using his burning embraces. That might be his secret weapon. So 32% health regeneration and then 40% ward save for 20 seconds. A very nice ability, but Archaeon is still at probably 2/3 of his health, I would say. Xiaoming is already at 3 3000 health, and I don't think he's gonna be able to make the comeback, although this is a very, very nice healing ability. He's flying against Arcanum and trying to land a few hits on him. Arcanum is down to 4300. Jamming is at 2400, so Arcanum, yeah, he's still going down slowly, but I don't think there's gonna be enough for Xiaoming, and Xiaoming loses to Arcanum in the first match. Let us look at the second match between these two. Xiaoming, will he decide to transform into the dragon, or will he just go on foot against Archaon? Yeah, I think he should transform, because Archaon, he doesn't have any anti-large bonuses, so there's no reason for Xiaoming to go on foot versus Archaon. Again, he charges into Archaon and takes a lot of damage from this charge again. Well, Archaon also took some damage, so looking much better for Xiaoming this time. Archaon is, look at these stats. Almost everything is maxed out on Archaon. I think the only downfall he might have is that his health is not too high and he doesn't have any regeneration, but Xiaoming doing much better this time, 5500 versus 5900 for the Iron Dragon, and he seems to be landing the strikes on Archaon. Look at that, Xiaoming is ahead here at 5600 compared to 4700 for Archaon. His stats are not that good, but he's fighting for all of Cathay to be the Ever Chosen and finish first in this group. Let's continue watching this match. Arcanum is down to 4300, but he seems to have stopped taking damage. 3800 versus 4500. A close match between these two this time around. Xiaoming is at 4500 compared to 3800 for Arcanum, but again, these stats, I think they're just too high for most of the lords to tackle. You need to some way to deal with that. You need some debuffs against Arcanum, or some way to reduce his melee defense or something. And Xiaoming doesn't have any abilities. His only ability is the Warding Iron and then the healing passive that we saw recently. But that is everything he has. Let's see if that is going to be enough. Archaon is 3500, Xiaoming is 3800. He's landing the strikes on Archaon, but he's also taking a lot of damage. The Burning Vambraces kick in, and he is getting the 40% ward save. For a while, he's at 3500. Both of them are at 3500, so this is going to be a very equal matchup from this point. Let's see Xiaoming. He's taking damage. He's down to 2800. Yeah, I think the Burning Vambraces relax him a little bit. He lost his concentration. Archaon is down to 3000 health, but Xiaoming is also going down. I think Xiaoming is gonna go down a little bit quicker than Archaon. Archaon uses his Fight or Die buff to buff his melee attack to 104. Very respectable. 2600 for Archaon. Xiaoming is 2000. 2000 for both of them. Look at that. Xiaoming might be able to make a comeback in this match. Neither of them have any leadership wavering, and both of them are out of abilities. Archaon is 2100, Xiaoming is at 1600, manages to land a Lucky Strike, but here are a few Lucky Strikes against Archaon, 1800 versus 1200. No, Xiaoming, you need to land probably a few more strikes, like 1 or 2 strikes against Archaon, and it's gonna be a sensation on this tournament if Archaon is gonna lose a match against Xiaoming. Let's continue watching. He breathes against Archaon, but no, he misses and he goes down to minus 55 leadership. He's gonna lose this matchup against Archaon. Look at that, as his head clips right into Archaon's body, but that is not enough. Archaon is gonna take a 2-0 victory over Xiaoming. Let us look at the next matchup. This is gonna be Boris Ursus versus Epidemius. And Epidemia versus being healthy. Kislevites is being healthy. Is going to be enough. Let's see. Let's compare these two. Epidemius has more health, but much less weapon strength. He does have poison damage, but maybe that will not be enough. Boris Ursus is charging into Epidemius. Boris Ursus is one of the strongest lords of Kislev. He buffed himself up to huge stats. 613 melee attack, 539 melee attack, 79 melee defense. That is a lot. Boris Ursus is doing damage to Epidemius. Epidemius, he has a few abilities of his own. Yeah, that's, I think, one of the coolest abilities in the game. The Sense of Sickness, minus 24 melee defense for Boris Ursus. but doesn't look like Boris Ursus is able to catch a cold on an epidemia. Boris cursed. Boris curses. Boris Ursus, yeah, he had a vaccine. He did a PCR test. He is healthy. Epidemius is going down very quickly. Boris Ursus took almost no damage from Epidemius. Epidemius already down to 3,300. It's going to be very tough for him to make a comeback down to 3,000. Yeah, I don't think Epidemius will be able to take Boris Ursus. Boris Ursus is just the stronger character riding the War Bear mount. Let's continue watching this one. And yeah, Epidemius goes down. Boris Ursus is going to take the victory in this match. And he's also going to take the victory in the second match 2-0 for Boris Ursus. Let's look at another interesting matchup where the powers of Zincha are gonna try to fight Grom the Paunch. Let's wait until Sartorial the Everwatcher. I hate saying his name for some reason. It's so hard for me to say. But Sartorial the Everwatcher is charging into Grom. Grom would really love to use his 90 charge bonus, but he's not a flying unit, so the battle begins between these two. Sartorial, does he have any buffs? He has the decreased cooldowns. He has the standard eye, which is the only buff he has. He's down to 0 armor from Grom the Paunch, and Grom the Paunch has a few buffs of his own. He's up to 88 melee attack, 732 weapon strength. Boris, Grom the Paunch needs to. I'm messing up all the names this time. Grom the Paunch needs to land the strikes on Sartorial to make sure his barrier doesn't kick into regeneration. Just to remind you, the barrier has. Yeah, this is the delay before he starts to regenerate, so about 20 seconds. Grom the Paunch really needs to land those hits. Let's continue watching this matchup. And Sartorial seems to be doing quite a bit of damage to Grom the Paunch. Look at that. He is 45 melee attack, 45 melee defense. That is not a lot, but Grom the Paunch, he's without the buffs, he is at 40 melee attack and 35 melee defense. So any other lords would probably be a tough match for Sartorial, but this time he's just landing strike after strike on Grom, and Grom doesn't seem to be able to do much against Sartorial. Look at that. Sartorial is just destroying Grom the Paunch, even though he's not a dedicated melee lord. I think he's gonna win this one. Yes, Sartorial takes the first match against Grom, and he's also gonna take this second match against Grom. Sartorial the Everwatcher beats Grom the Paunch out of all orcs. What a surprise. Let's look at the other matches in round 3 in Group 10. Grand Hierophant Katep loses to Festus the Leech Lord. Epidemius Boris Ursus, we have watched that one, as well as Sartorial beating Grom the Paunch, and then Wolfric the Wanderer wins the battle against Jatan the Black. So let us jump into round 4. Let's jump into the next match, and this is going to be Wolfric the Wanderer, the Eternal Challenger, challenging Archaon, the Ever-Chosen. As we all know, Wolfric the Wanderer has the unique ability to say curses so insulting that anybody is gonna be offended, and it looks like Archaon is very offended. He charges into Wolfric, but I think it's more Wolfric charging into Archaon. He has a lot more mass, so yeah. Wolfric is taking quite a bit of a damage, so does Archaon. Both of them, percentage-wise, I would say, at the same amount of health. Let's look at Wolfric. He has 1%, 2% physical resistance. Yeah, that is rage, so that's going to build up to 10% and up to 5 melee attack. And Wolfric is really going to need that melee attack, because without the charge bonus, 39 melee attack, 34 melee defense, that is just not really looking good for him. Yeah, I think that is one of the biggest weaknesses that Wolfric has as the sort of Togwall, but he needs a way to buff his rather not impressive looking stats of melee attack and melee defense when he's riding the War Mammoth. And Archaon, as we know, is already one of the most buffed lords. He's buffed all the time. So let's continue watching these two. Wolfric is down to 71. Forgetting the numbers. Wolfric is down to 6,700. Archaon is at 4,600 health. Both of them are slowly going down, but no, it seems like Archaon, yeah. Archaon is taking a little bit of damage, but I think Wolfric is taking a lot more. There's another strike that he takes from Archaon, and another one. There's okay, Wolfric, he has the bonus versus infantry, but that is not going to help him because Archaon is riding his trusty steed. Archaon uses Fight or Die to get even more melee attack versus Wolfric, and yeah, that Doesn't look good for Wolfric at all. He is losing all his health. And I think these 43 melee attack, 34 melee defense looks like they are going to be his downfall, as Wolfric is not really doing that well. Arcane is at 3300, Wolfric is at 3200, but percentage-wise, Wolfric is just not really doing that well. He's trying to trample Archeon. Archeon is 2900. No, that doesn't seem to work against him. Wolfric is down to 2800. So a very close match in terms of health, but percentage-wise, Archeon did a lot more damage. Wolfric is already losing ground. That is not looking good for Wolfric. 1 or 2 hits. He needs to score against Archeon to come back into the game. 2000 for Wolfric. 2500 for Archeon. No, he does manage to land the strike. He's down to 1600. Yeah, I don't think he's going to take Archeon in this match. Let's look at the second match between these two, as again, Wolfric and Archeon. Arcadian is actually not going to charge this time, looks like. Or is he charging? He's not charging. No, he is charging. Archeon he's bluffing. Is he not? He is? No, he is. Because he has, where is it? Where is his ability? The charge reflection. I think he does. Yeah. There's, the Armor of Morka charge reflection. So Wolfric takes quite a bit of damage from his own charge. So does Archeon. Well, Archeon takes quite a bit of pummeling from Wolfric. Let's look at that. He's down to 4600. Wolfric is still at 11,000 health. That is a lot more than Archeon. See if the initial damage that he did to Archeon is going to be enough. Archeon is at 4200. And Wolfric is going down so quickly. 3800 versus 17900, so he is still far ahead in terms of health, but he's down to 7100. Archeon not really taking any damage. 6700. Archeon still not taking any damage. Archeon is 28, but Wolfric is well, is he gonna have enough time to do the damage to Archeon that he needs? Archeon is down to 2800 health. Wolfric is down to 4700. 1700 for Archeon. Yeah, Archeon seems to be going down in this match. What a surprise of all the people. Wolfric the Wanderer seems to be taking the victory over Archeon so far. Wolfric is down to 3600. Archeon misses the huge pummel with the tusks of the mammoth. Archeon is still at 1600 health. He's using his Slayer of Kings and the Armor of Morka to give him a little bit more time to equalize the match. 1600 versus 3600 for Wolfric the Wanderer. Archeon is still holding on, still not wavering, still fighting until the bitter end, as the proper ever-chosen should. Wolfric is down to 3100, and Archeon still has not taken any damage. Still at 1600 health. Wolfric is down to 2700. Look at that. Archeon manages to somehow dodge all the strikes from Wolfric. This one, does it land? Yeah, it does, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. 100 damage just to Archeon. Wolfric is down to 2100. Archeon is still sitting at 1500. Archeon is just a wizard. He's just a beast of a fight, managing to dodge all the strikes and land all the necessary strikes on Wolfric. Maybe that's because he's flanking the mammoths from the side, and it's really hard for Wolfric to see what's happening on the side. He should use the side vision mirrors on his mammoth, but he's going down in leadership, and Archeon takes a very, very hard but a very well-deserved victory. He didn't give up, he didn't crumble, he didn't run away. He fought until the bitter end and won 2-0 for Archeon. Let's look at the next match in this group, as Boris Ursus is gonna take on Zhao Ming, the Iron Dragon. Zhao Ming is gonna transform in his dragon form and charge into Boris or Ursus. Let's see how that is slowly happening. Boris is still waiting. He cannot use his charge bonus, but he has his very nice 25 anti-large bonus. So there he is, Boris Ursus. Dodges the strikes a little bit. He gets on the onslaught, the foe seeker, standing around, all the buffs. He's using all the buffs, and Zhao Ming is getting debuffed a little bit, where he's at 5400. And Zhao Ming is this 6900, so he is a little bit higher. Frostbite, that doesn't do anything. Let's continue watching these two. Zhao Ming is circling around Boris Ursus. Let's see if Boris can win this match. They are very equally matched. Boris has a little bit more melee defense, but Zhao Ming has more weapon damage. But Boris also has the bonus versus large, so he manages to land a few good strikes on Zhao Ming. Let's wait. And I think this is one of the weaknesses that Zhao Ming has. He doesn't have any abilities that he can use, but Boris Ursus, he has a lot of buffs. Let's see until Whether Boris Ursus is going to need them? No, he doesn't look like he actually needs the buffs. He buffs himself up with the Fury of Urson and the Foe Seeker, but Zhao Ming is already at 4200. Boris Ursus is still at 5000 health. Boris Ursus is just looking much better than Zhao Ming. Zhao Ming is taking a lot of damage from Boris Ursus, who is still at 5000 health. Zhao Ming, come on, you need to do something. He's down to, the Burning Vambraces kick in. Zhao Ming regenerates his health to 4700, but he still didn't manage to do any damage to Boris Ursus. He's still trying to get out of this match. No, he's just not hitting Boris Ursus. Boris Ursus, what a beast of a lord. Boris Ursus dodges all the attacks. No, not a single strike. Zhao Ming misses them all. Zhao Ming, there's one strike he managed to land on Boris Ursus, but I think this is going to be too late. Zhao Ming is already at 2400 versus 4500 for Boris Ursus. Boris Ursus seems to be winning this match 1-0 for Boris Ursus. Let us jump into the second match between these two and see if Zhao Ming just got unlucky, or maybe it was fate that guided him to lose the first match. Zhao Ming tries to fight Boris Ursus on foot. Maybe a good decision. Zhao Ming is a very good lord on foot. He does quite a bit of damage to Boris Ursus, and he has one of the buffs. Let's look and try to find it. No, I think, or is it the debuff? I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure Zhao Ming had some buff he could use on foot, but fighting Boris Ursus on foot, no, that was probably not a good idea. Boris Ursus is just running circles against Zhao Ming. Zhao Ming is at 4800, Boris Ursus is 5600. What a tough fight. 4500 for Zhao Ming. He is not doing too well against Boris Ursus. His fighting animation looks amazing, but apart from that, he doesn't seem to be do much to the true Tsar of Kislev. Zhao Ming does again his combat animations. He's missing a lot of strikes. Boris Ursus, he's just taking a very easy victory in this match. And again, maybe it was better to Zhao Ming to fight in the dragon form, but Boris Ursus has the anti-large bonus, and Zhao Ming is a huge hitbox, so maybe that plays into account. So anyway, 2-0 for Boris Ursus. Let us look at the other results in round 4 in Group 10. Epidemius is going to win the match against Zhatan the Black. Grand Hierophant Kadaf is going to lose to Grom the Paunch. And then Sartorial the Everwatcher manages to beat Festus the Leech Lord. So here are the standings. After 4 rounds, Archaeum the Ever Chosen undefeated in the first place. Boris Ursus and Epidemius are sharing the second and the third place. And Grand Hierophant Kadaf is likely to leave this tournament, no surprises, but then it's Zhatan the Black and Festus the Leech Lord in places 8 and 9. What a surprise. I'm not really sure who I would expect. I guess Sartorial the Everwatcher, but he did surprisingly well. So in round 5, Archeon will likely win against Epidemius. Festus the Leech Lord is going to fight Zhatan the Black for the last ticket into the grand final. Boris Ursus is fighting Wolfric the Wanderer. That is going to be an interesting one, and the one you can actually see in game, unlike many of these matchups. Grand Hierophant Kadaf is going to fight Sartorial the Everwatcher to try to score maybe some points, and then Zhao Ming is going to fight Grom the Paunch, who might lose this one and actually leave us. What a surprise. I would also think Grom would be a better lord, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Anyway, these are all the matches for day 2. Thank you very much for watching. The next day, day 3, is going to be the final day. It's going to be the day of the final matches in all the groups. So get excited, support your lords, and we will see you soon.